this video, we are going to practice handling a bounced check. The exercise we're going to follow along with is over here on the right-hand side, and this is pulled from our advanced level ProAdvisor certification course. If you would like more information about that course after we go through the exercise, be sure to click on the link below in the description. So let's go ahead and get started and see what our scenario is today. This exercise has two parts with the scenario for each shown as you go through the exercise. Be sure to do both parts of this exercise in the same sample company session. So you will need to be in the sample company to do this exercise. Now, if you're not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link below in the description. I have the sample company pulled up here on the left-hand side. This is where we're going to work for the exercise. So let's go ahead and get started. So part one of this scenario, Travis Waldron recently paid for his weekly gardening service with a check for $81, which you deposited into the checking account. You just got word from the bank that the check had bounced, and you incurred a $25 fee. You will need to record the bounced check and fee as well as invoice Travis to recoup the fee incurred. So how would you do all of this? Well, the first thing that you need to do is record the expense for the $25 fee. So to do that, we're going to click on the plus new button and then select expense. Plus new button is up here on the top left corner of the screen. Go ahead and click on that. And then under vendors, you're going to select expense. Now, when the expense transaction pulls up, we're going to fill it out. Now, for this, we are just going to record the fees, so we can actually leave the payee field blank, or if you want to create a vendor for the name of the bank, you can always do that. For this exercise, I am just going to leave it blank, but if you want to add it, you would do it right here. We're also going to leave this checking alone because that's where it was incurred from. And then the payment date, we're going to leave it as is, but in a real life scenario, you would want to make sure that this payment date matches the expense itself. So let's fill out the rest of the category or the expense transaction. Under the category details grid on the first line in the category field, we're going to select bank charges. So that is right here. Go ahead and click into that box. You can either hit the down arrow and just see that it's just a couple down there, or you can always type it in to get it to pull up. Once you find it, go ahead and select it. And then let's add a description about what this is for. We're going to type in the description field, returned check fee. So click into that description box and then go ahead and type returned check fee. Now we need to add the amount, and that amount was $25 for the fee. So that was the fee that was incurred. So in the amount field, type 25, click into that, type 25. When you hit the tab key over, you will see that QBO has stated what it is that we have here. So we are all good with this expense. Let's go ahead and save and close. That is the green button down here on the bottom right corner of the sample company. Go ahead and click on that, and that expense has been saved for us. Now you will need to create a new invoice for Travis. To do this, first we need to create two service items. The first item will be to record the returned check. So to get there, we're going to, from the left navigation bar, hover over sales and then select products and services. So the left navigation bar is over here, hover over sales, and then you will see products and services from that drop-down list. Go ahead and select that. We are creating those two new items, so we need to first click on the new button. That is the green button right here, not the arrow, but just new. Go ahead and click on that. And since this is not a product that we are creating, we are going to select this as a service. So go ahead and click on that. And let's go ahead and fill out all of the information. In the name field, we're going to type returned payment / check. So click into that name field and go ahead and type that. Returned payment / check. Next, in the income field, we are going to select checking. Now note that this is the account that the original item was deposited into. So that's why we are selecting it. So click into this box. You can either start typing, or if you scroll all the way to the top of that list, you will see the first one that is listed is checking. Go ahead and select that. We are going to edit the sales tax because this is not a taxable item. So to do that, we need to click on Edit Sales Tax, which is right here. You'll need to scroll down a little bit. You may need to move your arrow closer to this, what is it called? The bar to move it down, because otherwise it's just going to scroll in this box. So anyways, once you move to the bottom of this page, you will see it's currently selected as taxable. So go ahead and click on the button next to non-taxable, and then you're going to click on the green Done button right there. So this item has been completed. We are not going to fill out anything else, so you can just go ahead and click on the Save and Close button. That's down here, the green button on the bottom right corner of the sample company. And you will see that one has now been saved. We need to do the same thing, but this time create an item for the return check fee. So again, we're going to click on that New button right there. And again, this is not an inventory item, so we're going to select Service. And then let's go ahead and fill it out. In the name field, we're going to type returned payment / check fee. So click into that name box and go ahead and type that in. Returned payment check fee. In the income account field, we're going to select bank charges, which is actually an expense account. And so even though this is an income account field, we're entering the expense account for the bank charges here because that's really what this fee is for. So you want to click on that down arrow once again, and you will see bank charges happens to be right here. So go ahead and select that. Once again, we need to make this non-taxable. So you're going to click on Edit Sales Tax, which is right here. And then you'll need to scroll down to the bottom of that whole page until you find this other options area. Currently it's selected as taxable. Go ahead and click on the button next to non-taxable. And then go ahead and click on the green Done button. Everything is good for the information here. So all we need to do now is save and close. Click on the green Save and Close button. And now that that payment check fee has also been saved. So the next thing that we need to do is create the invoice. So to create the invoice, we're going to click on the plus new button and then select invoice. That plus new button once again is up here on the top left corner. Go ahead and click on that. Under customers, you will see invoice. Go ahead and select that. And once it pulls up, we're going to fill it out. In the customer field, we're going to select Travis. So you can either hit the drop down and scroll, or you can type his name in and you will see it appear. Once you find it, go ahead and click on his name. We're going to leave all of this information as is, but just keep in mind that in a real life scenario, if you need to change the terms or the invoice date, definitely make sure so that it matches whatever it is that you are doing. But we will leave everything as is for right now. Let's go ahead and fill out the rest of this invoice. So on the first line in the product service field, we're going to select returned payment check. So click into that. You can either scroll, I'm pretty sure it's all the way at the bottom, or you can start typing in. We want the one that says just check. Go ahead and click on that. In the rate field, we're going to type $81. So click into that rate field, type 81. When you hit the tab key over, you will see that QBO has made the update for us on this invoice. But now we need to add the check fee as well. So on the second line in the product service field, we're going to select returned check or payment / check fee. So if you click into it, you can click that down arrow. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's right here. It's the very last one, or you could type it in the way that we did for the first one. So once you find it, go ahead and select it. And then we need to put in that rate field, the $25 that was incurred for that check fee. So go ahead and type 25. When you hit the tab key over, you will see once again that it is showing as a total of $106. It's the 81 plus the 25. So we are all good here. We are going to click on the down arrow next to save and send and then select save and close. So that is right here, that down arrow. Go ahead and select that and then click on save and close. And that invoice has been saved. And as a note here, in a real life scenario, if you had the customer's email address, you could actually do save and send, and it would send the invoice directly to the customer rather than just saving and closing. But since we can't actually send invoices from the sample company, we do a save and close. All right, so in a sense, you have just invoiced Travis for a returned payment slash check. Since that's what he sent us, what we need to do now is remove the payment from the original invoice and apply it to this new one. So in order to do that, we want to click on customers. So that is this one right here. Go ahead and select that. And then you will want to scroll down until you find Travis's name. So let's scroll down. It's towards the bottom. Once you find his name, go ahead and select it. And you will see his customer profile appear, or customer information, all the transactions, other information about him. If you get any pop-ups, just go ahead and click out of those. It's just QBO trying to be extra helpful for us. I'm also going to collapse this column here so that you can see my screen a little bit better. Feel free to do the same, or you can leave it open. So we want to go to the $81 payment transaction line and then click view/edit. So if you scroll down a little bit, it's this one right here. There's two that say 81, but we actually want the one that is the payment. So we want to go ahead and click on the end of that one, view edit. So click on that. And now we want to remove the receive payment for this particular invoice. This is the one that where he had sent the check and the check had bounced. So we want to uncheck the checkbox next to the $81 invoice for 1013. Go ahead and click on that. And you'll note that this will reset the aging of the original invoice. Rather than showing that it's overdue, it's just going to reset that time all over. And the reason that we had it as receive payment, why we were removing it, is because in the scenario you had received the check. So even before the check had made its way to the bank, you had recorded a receive payment showing that you had actually gotten that check from Travis. So that is why you had this receive payment, and that is why it was showing as checked off that we had received payment for this. But because the check had bounced, we need to remove that and apply it instead to the new invoice that shows that return check to have received payment on this one. So we're going to click on the checkbox next to the $106 invoice, the one that we just created. Which you click on that right there. You will notice that in the payment field, it is showing as $81 because that's how much it was received. So it's automatically assuming that that is how much that we want here, which is perfect. Now it's showing that the $81 is being applied to this new invoice. So we're all good here. So all we need to do is just click on the down arrow next to save and new to select save and close. Go ahead and click that down arrow, select save and close. You will get this pop-up warning just asking if you're sure you want to modify because it's linked. We do. So go ahead and click on the yes button. And now that one has been saved. You see it here, it is down here, that invoice that we had just created. Let me see if I could scroll over. This is the invoice that we just created, and it's showing as a partial payment, that $81 with 25 left. When we receive the rest of the money, it'll all be received right here. So at this point, you may want to resend the original invoice to Travis as well as the new invoice, which only includes the bank feed. We will not be doing that for this exercise, but just know that would be the next step in the process. So part 2 of this scenario, you have just received a check from Travis Waldron for $106 to cover the previously bounced check as well as the bank feed. So how would you record it? We are going to do it. There are several different ways to do it. We could just click on receive payment, but we're going to follow along with the exercise and do it a little bit of a different way, just so you can see a different pathway to get to the exact same result. So we're going to click on the plus new button and then select receive payment. The plus new button here up at the top, go ahead and click on that. Under customers, click on receive payment. In the customer field, we want to select Travis Waldron, so go ahead and click into it. You can type his name or scroll down until you find it. Once you do, go ahead and click on his name. And now we want to click on the checkbox next to invoice 1013. Go ahead and click on that. And then we are going to click on the checkbox next to invoice 106. Now remember, this is showing as an open balance of just $25. So now we are showing that the original invoice is being paid and that the check fee is also being paid as well in this $106 check that Travis had sent over. So all we need to do now is just click on save and close. That's down here on the bottom right corner. And there we go. We're showing that everything is received, everything is paid, and that is how you would handle a bounced check. Now, if you like this exercise and you want to do more like it, or if you would like more information about the advanced level ProAdvisor certification course, be sure to click on the link below in the description. And I will see you in the next exercise.